All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Minish Randomizer weekly race. Today we've got Myth on comms, and Artemis and I, Tom Talk, are going to track as well as I'm restreaming for you all. So I'm going to hand you off to Myth, who's going to talk a bit about all the exciting new settings and stuff that we've got going on TMCR stuff.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Yeah, we got a bunch of new settings for Minish Cap. If you haven't been keeping up with Minish Cap recently in the last couple of months, we've just been inundated with new settings and new features being added. We have kind of chosen a nice combination today of what we would like to possibly go forwards with for race settings moving forwards. We're going to test it out. We're going to see how we like it. So, I think we are ready to get going. As soon as we hit the hour mark, we're going to be sending the racers off, which is going to be happening in just a few seconds now. And I think we can send them off now. Let's go. So, what do we have settings-wise for today? So one of the major changes we're going to be seeing for the rando is that we are going to have open Dark Hyrule Castle. What are the requirements for like beating the randomizer? Well, we need to kill Vati. Vati's in Dark Hyrule Castle, the final dungeon, and in previous versions of the randomizer, we had it open after you have done certain requirements. So those requirements may be stuff like collecting a certain number of elements and collecting a certain number of swords. We normally have it 4 elements collection from, and you get the elements for completing dungeons. And then you need to get the 4 swords, so you need to max upgrade the sword. Vati always requires having all swords unlocked anyway, because you can't kill them without having all of the swords anyway. So what the setting is now is we have Dark Hyrule Castle just open all the time, and instead the boss key is the reward for completing all of the elements and collecting all of the swords. So the boss key will just spawn on you instantly as soon as you got all of the things for the requirement. Then you can just rush directly to Dark Hyrule Castle and go straight to the boss. Oh yeah, that's right. We've got some quality of life features. We got the text popping up when you collect kinstones and stuff, but kinstones, we don't care about kinstones in these settings because they're set to complete. In fact, all of the golden kinstones already being completed, don't need to track those, don't need to pay attention to them. Greens as well, already completed. Blues already completed. Reds, however, reds are closed. Reds have been turned off, and you can't do them. Anything that was locked by a red fusion, closed. You're never gonna gain access to it. There's a few things that are opened by red fusions. Yeah, we have a purple element in DHC. We're gonna I swear I fixed that bug. Someone's gonna have to go over to DHC and find out what's going on with this. I'm sure there's a rational explanation for why there's an element over Hyrule Castle. I currently actually cannot see any races because the commentary thing is perma buffering for me. Okay, right, I can see now. We're all in Tingle Trees doing all of those spots. And we started out with Cape and Mitts. What a great start. And we got the first people into DHC. It's not DHC. It's Cave of Flames because we've got shuffled Dark Hyrule Castle now. That's right, all of the dungeon entrances are shuffled. So people have seen the different dungeons entrances being shuffled in previous revisions of the randomizers that have released recently, but today is the first day we're going to be showing off Dark Hyrule Castle's entrance being shuffled into that same pool of locations. So where is DHC? That is the question. We were saying is like you just hit go mode and you just rush to Dark Hyrule Castle. Well, you need to know where Dark Hyrule Castle is first, so we're gonna have to go to a bunch of different places and try and find them. But on the tracker, we did see that there were 3 locations that it could be. We saw there was there was Mount Crenel, the Graveyard, and Lake. They didn't have elements over them. So 2 of those places have non-required dungeons that we don't need to go to, and one of them has Dark Hyrule Castle. Another setting we have on, non-element dungeons are barren. Straight up barren. No items, nothing. Do not go to them. There's no point in going to them. I mean, we're gonna have to go to the entrance to find out if it's Dark Hyrule Castle or not, because Dark Hyrule Castle, despite being a non-element dungeon, it's still not gonna. It's not gonna be barren. It still might have something there. Decent start so far. Starting out with as some people have a sword. We got 4 people today, so it's going to be a bit hectic. We have Mashi picks up the Gust Jar over in North Hyrule Field, and then we have Grey Luca Fox over in Minish Woods, a little bit different from everyone else. Nimbus and Dreamy are also in town with Mashi, but they didn't pick up their Gust Jar yet. So we've got some fun junk as well, because, kinstones aren't needed at all, so why not just make them junk items? That's fun. Right. Grey Luca Fox finds the bomb bag. The bomb bag's over in the Dig Cave in Minish Woods. A lot of early important items here. Tinkle Trophy on Dreamy as well. Yeah, we're going to have to find a cane before we're going to make use of that. Oh, and having a look at Dreamy just now, picking up the bow. So there's going to be a bow in Trilby Dig Cave. And Dreamy picking up a sword. That is the Smith's sword. That is... Was that the... That is a second sword, right? Yeah. People found a sword somewhere else. Where was it? Oh, that was the first sword. Okay, never mind. So, yeah, we've got a lot of very early progression in various different directions and locations. So we're going to be seeing our racers running about in all different directions to find out where to go. Yeah, so more quality of life improvements. Dojos. We got some changes to the dojo. The tutorials are gone. We cut those cutscenes out, and yeah, you just talk to them, and instantly you just get given the item straight away. So no having to wait around and watch those for a while. And also, one of the settings we have on, scrolls are only found on dojos, which means that, yeah, you go to the dojo NPC, and they will always give you a scroll of some kind. very important. That ties into one of the progression options we have on. So very recently, actually yesterday, I implemented a new feature. Progressive items option has been split up into 5 different options. So now you can toggle if you want to control if an item is progressive individually for swords, bows, boomerangs, shields, and spin scrolls, all independently. So all of them are progressive except for scrolls today. Scrolls are not progressive, which means you can get spin scrolls in any order. They might find the great spin before they find the spin attack, and they can't use the great spin because you need spin attack before you can charge up a spin. So golden enemies randomized as well. Yep, if you haven't seen for a while, yep, we have golden enemies having items. So now you need to kill golden enemies to get the item that drops off of them. Currently they are in logic as soon as you have any sword. And only swords. No other things will be considered as weapons for fighting them. Now, because we're adding so many new options in for all of these things, we don't want things to get too hectic, so we have dialed back some of the old settings that we used to have on. So everyone remembers Rupee Mania, absolutely hectic locations in the puddle caves where it can have anything. That's out. We've turned that off. It's a bit too much to have that on as well, so we're testing out some new settings here. Gonna test out the new settings, retire some of the old settings for now. See how things go. Again, obscure locations as well. We used to have those on. We've turned them off. It's a bit too much to pay attention to when you have, you have to pay attention to dig spots as well and underwater locations and like that. That's too much. Let's dial that back a bit. And another thing is items like logic tricks and items considered as weapons. Those used to be settings, so we used to require, bomb. Like you may be required to use bombs or bow to kill certain enemies. That's gone as well now. Any enemy fight, anything that you have to kill an enemy, always requires a sword. And also logic tricks. That's changed quite a decent amount since the old version. The old version used to assume anyone could do any kind of trick to get to any location. So some tricky cape jumps to get across the lake. Yep, that's required. You have to do that. Some people weren't aware that you could use the bombs to blow up the dust in Krenel. That was required before. Now, all of these have turned into options that we can toggle on and off. And they are toggled off. Anything that's a trick or considered as like you'd need to know that you will be able to do that in advance, you don't need to anymore. That's not required. The seed is beatable without you having to do that. It's now an option of, do I want to do this to do an out of logic play? Do I want to jump over all of the spots to get to the south side of lake without the flippers? These spots aren't going to be in logic until I get the flippers, but I might get some future knowledge by going and checking these locations out. Yeah, we added a new sword icon. There's a sword with a little plus on it. So yeah, you can see that it's a progressive sword instead of just a regular sword. Yeah, previously we just had them all be smith swords, but they are no longer just smith swords anymore. Oh, but there is so much to talk about with all of these new settings. So we grabbed the ocarina as well. We've seen a couple of the people here in Dreamy and Grey Luca Fox have the ocarina. Nimbus is about to grab theirs. Mashi is heading over to Minish Village, so a bit in the opposite direction to the ocarina. But the ocarina, all of the wind crests are open from the beginning. That's the settings that we have on. You can configure them to be any combination of the wind crests that you want. But for these settings, we have them all on. Okay, we found Dark Hyrule Castle. It's in the lake. But yeah, because we have all of the Wind Crest open, we've seen Grey Luca Fox go immediately to Cloud Tops and start clearing out all of Clouds. Because yeah, there's a Wind Crest there. You know, they could go to they could go to Mount Crenel. They can go to Swamp. There's so many places you can go to when you get the Ocarina. It really makes things quite open early. Mashi finds a dungeon here. We have Royal Crypt in Minish Woods. So we know where 3 dungeons are so far, because we saw Cave of Flames over in the castle. I think we're going to see another one as well. Grey Luca Fox is going up Wind Tribe. Because all of the gold fusions are already done, you could just go straight into the Wind Tribe and go up and... So we... At the beginning of the game... what we've been used to in the past is people immediately go into that portal that's outside of Link's house and go to Wind Tribe. That is one of the red Kinstone fusions, and because we have red Kinstone fusions turned off, that's gone. You can't go through that portal to get into Wind Tribe. Now, Wind Tribe is... the only way to get to it is to go through the entrance in Cloud Tops. Did we see what was the dungeon in Clouds? But yeah, we saw that we saw Nimbus check in Lake and saw that it was is DHC there. Well, if we didn't see that, then, well, Nimbus is going to head up into there momentarily, so we'll be able to see that. Mashi's having a fun time over in Eastern Hills at the moment, having to kill this golden rope. I'm not. Oh, nice troll Kinstone there. All the Kinstones are junk. We don't need to pay attention to that. Oh, there's a cane. Grey Luca Fox finds a cane in Swamp. So looks like you need to grab grab that Ocarina and float over to Swamp to find the progression there. Cane's really useful. Cane's gonna open up a lot of things. Did we see anything over in Minish Woods? I don't think so. Oh, we just saw a bottle, didn't we? I swear Mashi just picked up a bottle. Palace leads to Deepwood. Oh, right, Nimbus is in Deepwood right now. And they pick up a bow. There's another bow in there, so there's the light arrows. Light arrows not required to beat Vati in this game. Really, the light arrows in this game, very weak, not very useful whatsoever. They one-shot Igors. That's it. That's all they really do. They can break things from a distance. So you may start your seed with light arrows only, and you need to use that to break the little trees and stuff to get out. Right, Grey Luca Fox is rushing into Wind Ruins right away. It's very weird seeing people go to Wind Ruins or do anything like a swamp and in this area without the red sword. But that's what we have now with these open wind crests, so you can go anywhere. Really opens up the seed and gives the racers the option to choose their own routing and really go wherever they want. Alright, Mashi picks up their Ocarina as well. Ocarina open at the start would be a really interesting setting to have, for sure. Alright, Dream is going to be the next person to head over and pick up their cane. In the meantime, Nimbus is going to be clearing out Cloud Tops. We saw Grey Luca Fox do Cloud Tops earlier, and it was pretty much barren. I don't think there was anything of use in there. Yeah, we have Dreamy doing a bit more in Swamp. I don't think we had Grey Luca Fox do too much in Swamp. They did a couple of tricks. They grabbed the cane, and then they headed into Wind Ruins. Nimbus is going to go over to Cave of Flames. They're going to go to Mount Chrono and see whatever the dungeon was in Chrono, and it was Palace of Winds. They didn't need to check that. I mean, it's useful to, it's cool to know that there's Palace there, but they already knew where Dark Harrow Castle was, and if you already know where Dark Harrow Castle is, then you don't need to see what is the other dungeons that are non-element. Well, okay, I guess it gives them information about what dungeons are not going to be, required. Yeah, so Palace is completely barren. We're never going to have to go into Palace at all. There's no items there. Mashi's gone into DHC, though, and they're going to be going immediately into the Red Warp, because we have Dungeon Warps on. Did I mention this? Yeah, we have two Dungeon Warps turned on for the settings at the moment. We have the Dark Harrow Castle Red Warp, and we have the Temple of Droplets Red Warp. These warps are there to skip a load of a load of rooms that don't have any randomized items in them whatsoever. They're just they were just speedrun tests, see how quickly you can go through them, and it normally takes a long time. So having these warps here just lets you get through these dungeons a lot faster and not have to waste time going through rooms. But yeah, Droplets is at in Wind Ruins. So, do we know what all of the dungeons? We do, don't we? Crypt's in Minish Woods. So we need to do Crypt, we need to do Cave of Flames over in the castle, we need to do Deepwood up in Cloudtops, and we need to do Droplets in Wind Ruins. So Palace and Fortress aren't required. We saw Palace was in Cave of Flames, so Fortress is in Graveyard. Logic. Right, Dreamy's going to be heading into Cave of Flames and be clearing out that dungeon, picking up the big key for Cave of Flames. So, yeah, keys! Keys are interesting. Keys can be found in any dungeon. Sorry, small keys can be found in any dungeon. The Cave of Flames small keys are not necessarily going to be in this dungeon. But you can find keys for any other dungeon here, maybe. And then you'll have to grab the keys here, go to that dungeon, clear out that bit of that dungeon for a bit, and then get keys to come back to Cave of Flames. But the boss key will always be in its own dungeon. So that's why we saw the Cave of Flames big key in here. We're not going to see any other big keys in Cave of Flames. So, what else do we need to be checking out soon? Have we checked out the backside of Malaria's Mines yet? I'm not sure, but Mashi's going to be going and checking that out. Okay, Dreamy finds Templar Droplet Small Key. That's going to be quite important. Yeah, Grey Luca Fox already went to Droplets, and that's at the back of Wind Ruins, which is kind of sucky, because you really don't want to be dipping in and out of the whatever dungeons located at Wind Ruins. That's not fun. So, if we haven't been paying attention to some of the junk items, we have maps and compasses are now junk as well. There's a bunch of bakery goods, as well as those kinstones. There's a graveyard key. Very useless graveyard key. We're not going to actually make any use out of that. Seeing as we may do. Like, the graveyard could still have things, even though Fortress is there and Fortress is barren. The graveyard might still have some things. Do we have a spin yet? I don't think we have a spin scroll. So, we've only been able to check 2 dungeon spots out because we got a sword and we got a cape. So that was the 2 spots in the dojo in town. But everyone's got a green sword, so they can go back to that dojo and get another item. Yeah, so that is another availability. But again, it's just a scroll. The best scroll it could be is a spin, and we don't really need the spin until we get a red sword. So, not super vital that we rush back to town to grab that scroll. But anyone who's in town should definitely grab that and not put it off, at least. That is where the digging butterfly was. I saw a lot of people had some the digging butterflies already, and yeah, it was in the town digging cave. So it was very nice to grab the digging butterfly to speed up your digging, especially when you go over to the treasure cave in Lake. That cave's real slow if you don't have your butterfly to speed things up. Nimbus showing off in Cave of Flames the power bracelets optimization there. You can use the power bracelets to push the pots and go the reverse way whilst Minish, and you manage to save a second or so instead of having to go around the intended path. But right, there was also a crypt key in here and a fortress small key, which fortress is useless, so those fortress keys are going to be pointless to find. And then, yeah, that Templar Droplet small key as well. Crypt, that crypt key is going to be quite useful. Like, if anyone wants to head into crypt with that, with that small key, they can grab a couple of extra spots. Oh, they can't get any extra items though because they need the blue swords to be able to create clones and do those puzzles in that second room. We saw Mashi get whatever the items were in the entrance room on the two Gibdos, but we definitely won't be able to get whatever is in the later rooms with the clone puzzles. It's really funny seeing people fight the golden enemies. I think the best strategy people have at the moment is boomerang and sword, and you just boomerang them and do a couple sword slashes. Get them pinned into a corner. That's the best thing. Get them pinned into a corner. Toss the boomerang. The boomerang only takes effect for like just over a second or something like that. I don't know the exact frame count on how long they're stunned, but you stun them, slash them a couple times, stun them again, and then you just repeat until they die. You want to see a strat for Tektites without Boomerang? Definitely. Yeah, those Tektites are obnoxious, and if you don't have Boomerang, it's real awful to fight them. Okay. Yeah, okay. Grey Luca Fox is going to go a little bit deeper into Crypt, but realize they don't have a key to open it up anymore. And even if they did, they don't have the they can't make any clones yet. Are we at the end of like progression here? It's like where is progression? Have we checked Tingle? I swear we've checked Tingle, right? I think Dreamy's checking something new here in Lower Vale Falls. Because Nimbus is clearing out wind ruins at the moment, and Grey Luca Fox already did this and went into droplets as well and got the stuff in there. Mashi's doing Swamp, and I believe we saw Dreamy do that already. Dreamy gets another bomb bag in Lower Vale Falls, and that wasn't the progression we needed. Gives them more bombs, but they already had bombs, so it's nothing new. Mashi picks up their cane, and they are going to be able to do some new locations that were locked by the cane. I think this is new, right? The under the library. On from Dree, I believe she's going to be finding something new here. Oh no, it's just a Craig. Rip. Under the library. Sorry, not under the library. Under the school. Under the school is a bit of a slow check. It's fine when you got 30 bombs, though. So we have seen 3 different bomb bags. I don't know what people got in what orders, but yeah. We saw one in Minish Woods, one in Swamp, and one in where was it? They just grabbed it. Oh yeah, it was Lowerville. That's right. Right, Nimbus is doing a some stuff in Templar Droplets. I don't remember how much we saw from Grey Luca Fox. They grabbed the first item at least. Uh-oh. Nimbus, no. No, you did the puzzle wrong. No. I don't think it's savable. I think you have to reset. Yeah, doing that puzzle is something no rando player wants to do. Alright, there is our spin scroll. Mashi confirms the spin scroll is the next scroll on the from the dojo. So everyone can go and get that at some point. But it's not super vital that they do get it now. It was a bottle that we saw from Grey Luca Fox in Templar Droplets. Right? Did we see them get that? No, they don't have it whatsoever. So Mashi found us a bottle somewhere, though. And that's going to be useful. Yeah, Mashi's not followed that up, and they're the only person that's found that bottle. They can go to Krenel. Oh, they've got red Picolite in that bottle. That's why they're not wanting to use it immediately, I guess. Red Picolite's really good. Sorry, not red Picolite. That is a Din's Charm. Din's Charm is really, really good. It doubles your damage. If you can hold on to that until the end of the game, you can make mincemeat of Vati. It's going to make those Vati fights so much easier if you have just a free Din's Charm to pop as you go into that fight. Even the Darknut fight right beforehand is a really good idea to use it during that as well. Wait, Nimbus has the boots. That's right. Oh, they grabbed it from the Heart Piece cave. Right. Yeah, Nimbus grabs the boots from from that cave, where we now have grabbable items on. That is a setting that means that if you can see an item, you can grab it from long distance by either throwing a boomerang at it, using the Gust Jar to suck it up, or if you're close enough, you can do a sword slash to grab it. That is never going to be required in Logic. There is a setting to turn that on, so you are required to grab items from a distance, but not in these settings. In these settings, it is just, you can do that to grab something out of Logic. It's very nice to find. There are a lot of locations that you can grab items, visible items that you wouldn't normally think you could get. and you just grab them from a distance. And maybe some things that are still in logic, but it's just a time saver. It's just you just speed it up. So, as Catabat pointed out, the cave in the Wind Ruins, with the heart piece that you see from a distance, you can just use the Gust Jar and suck that up. But they have the boots. That's going to give them some new locations to go and check. Grey Luca Fox didn't grab those boots when they were over there. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they just skipped out on the Quick Warp caves. You never skip on those Quick Warp caves. It's not worth skipping out on. Alright, hold on. I'm going to have to do a little refresh here to be able to see how everyone's getting on. Looks like Mashy's heading over to Wind Ruins as well. Gonna be picking up their boots. Be able to do some stuff in Templar Droplets as well. They did get some small keys for Templar Droplets, so can they do stuff in there possibly? I don't think they can do anything else that we haven't seen. Anyone else do? That's right. In Templar Droplets, even though that red warp is available, and they went through it. As soon as you blow up the wall to go into the next room, there's a web in the way that you need to turn the lantern on to be able to. You have to burn that web away so that you can fight the Madapillars. And also, that room is in the dark, so good luck if you're trying to fight those Madapillars in the dark. That's why it's very handy that there's a web there blocking you, so that you can't even try and fight them until you get the lantern. So Din's Charm was in Mashy's bottle. I don't know if they use it. I don't think they did use it. But yeah, we have random bottle contents now. So the bottles you find are just going to have some random item in them. So we found Mashy found Din's Charm in their bottle. Nimbus found something else. Was it Hylian butter? Luca also got Din's in a different bottle. Oh, Nimbus finds a sword. Nimbus finds 2 swords! The Lon Path. The Lon Path has 2 swords. So they immediately upgrade from red swords to from green sword to red sword and then blue sword. So now they can create 3 clones. Yeah, that's a lot now open for Nimbus. I guess that opens up a that opens up the Royal Valley. I don't know if they've got the graveyard key. They didn't find the graveyard key. The graveyard key was in Western Woods. It was on that beanstalk. And if they grab that, then they're going to be able to head into the graveyard. But Nimbus using their blue swords to get the town pillar, and it is junk. So that's the first blue sword locked spot that they go for, and not what we're looking for. I'm sure blue sword's going to hold progression. Oh yeah, we kind of missed the Goron Merchant at the beginning of the seed, but yeah, the Goron Merchant is now randomized. There's 3 random items on it, and yeah. I'm sure there was something at the start, right? Ray Luca Fox still doesn't have the Gust Jar. That's not good. The Gust Jar is in, Dreamy doesn't have it either. I swear they did get it. That Gust Jar is in, North Hyrule Field. It's the heart piece in North Hyrule Field. Very early. We saw people grab that a minute in, 2 minutes into the seed. Alright, so there was a Palace of Winds small key in Crypt, and that's completely useless, because Palace is non-element. Alright, but we are going to be seeing Grey Luca Fox doing lower Krenel at the moment. Krenel is something that we have not seen. Even though we don't have that, but there's the flippers. There are flippers in lower Krenel. We haven't been able to get to lower Krenel until that bottle. That bottle locks out. Even though we have the Ocarina Warp to upper Krenel, we can't climb down. We need the grip ring, so we need to find the grip ring before you're able to climb down, or climb up to some of the other spots in Krenel. Yeah, Grey Luca Fox is back in Krenel after finding the flippers. They, I guess they can kill this golden Tektite here, but I'd be rushing some flippers locked locations right now. Interesting that they lowered the boomerang down to the regular boomerang instead of the magic boomerang. But there's a bomb bag. There is a bomb bag on that golden Tektite. So yeah. All right, Nimbus going into the royal crypt to grab the items that were available there. I don't think it was. Was there anything super important? They have a They have a lantern. There's a lantern in Crypt. Oh, Mashi's at 10 hearts. Right, so Mashi's going to be able to go into the dojo in Lake as well. But also Mashi picking up that that blue sword as well. Okay, Grey Luca Fox is going to be going into the fountain. We haven't seen anyone go into fountain yet. That's been open for a while. Well, not open for a while. It's been bottle locked. As soon as we had bottle, we had access to here. Mashi could have done this at any point, I think, for a while now. But we got Kane, which lets us do this fight. Dreamy's doing Simon Simulations, is junk, is going to save Scum of that. Nimbus found the lantern, and immediately rushes to Templar Droplets. Because, yeah, Templar Droplets is loaded now with items now that the lantern is accessible. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that lantern brings nearly everything into logic. There's like, I think there's going to be 2 things that are not going to be in logic because they require all keys, but now they can do everything. Yeah, they can do everything. There's the they don't have the flippers. Oh, that's right. The boss isn't going to be in logic because they don't have the flippers. But wait, no, never mind. The boss is in logic. Yeah, we have the red warp active. So the red warp skipped one of the rooms that requires you to use the flippers to get through, or do an incredibly precise jump, which people aren't really down for doing. So yeah, Nimbus is going to be pushing that switch, and they're in the main section of Temple of Droplets now. Alright, there's a useless Fortress of Winds key over there. But now we're going to be heading over onto the right-hand side. Alright, Grey Luca Fox is going to be heading back into Wind Ruins. They did miss out on their boots that were found here. They were the first person into here and cleared it all out, and they're going to kick themselves with those boots after realizing that there is nothing like that. This is one of the only spots that they skipped in this area. A DC small key in here as well. Paper Flame's small key. That's going to be important. Dreamy does have her boots from the Wind Ruins as well, so she's doing some boot locked locations here in the lake. What they need to do is head over to London Ranch because there's 2 swords there. Alright, Nimbus is clearing out the Dark Maze. Was that the boss? Yeah, that looked like the boss key. Yeah, the big key for Templar Droplets. The very useful boss key for Templar Droplets. That opens the boss door at the entrance that you've already gone around. I guess it's kind of okay to find, because then you can open it up, and then if you find the shield... We haven't found a shield yet. No one has a shield. If someone finds a shield, then they will be able to minute Octo. But, and you'd need the boss key to be able to do that as well, because you'd need to open the door. There's a second Cave of Flames small key in Templar Droplets. There's both of them. So, it's kind of pointless to go to Cave of Flames until you go to Droplets first. I don't think we didn't see anything in Droplets, did we? Did we? Sorry, not in Droplets. In Cave of Flames. In Cave of Flames, we didn't see anything super... That's kind of the vibe that we're getting with these settings, I think, is that dungeons, they're they're gonna have keys. There's gonna be a lot of keys in dungeons because keys can be placed in any dungeon. But Dreamy is going into Dark Harrow Castle and clearing out some of the second half locations. These are a bit tough, but she's perfectly capable of handling all of the enemy fights here, all of the dark nuts and stuff. Quite a few of the locations are, you know, you don't have the Four Sword, which is a bit weird to be doing Dark Harrow Castle without the Four Sword, but you can definitely get access to some items in here, so... Alright, Mashi's going to be following Nimbus up into Templar Droplets, whilst Nimbus is checking out the cutscene for Octo, and then I think that should probably just do Octo straight away. We're going to be seeing our first dungeon, Templar Droplets, in Wind Ruins completed in under an hour, which is a bit surprising. Like, you'd think that whatever the dungeon is in Wind Ruins is going to be one of the later ones that you do, and Templar Droplets as well. Templar Droplets is a slow dungeon. It is probably the slowest dungeon in the entire game. So it's probably the combination of like the slowest dungeon to do first, and we're seeing it done in under an hour, which is very surprising. I think that just goes to show how much the things have sped up in Minish Cap Rando with all of the new setting changes. So Dreamy's clearing out the bottom left tower in Dark Harrow Castle. That is junk. Nothing there. Right, now... So Nimbus clears up Templar Droplets, getting their first element. Nothing on the boss itself, though. I think Grey Luca Fox is going to be the first person we see going into hiking. I don't think we saw anyone else go into hiking. Trapping the Moldozer inside of the block there. Very nice. Dreamy is going to be picking up her red sword and then immediately into her blue sword as well. Very nice. I hope they like that. Because that's just a mad slashing. Okay, Grey Luca Fox is going into North Hyrule Field to get their Gust Jar. At the same time, Dreamy is also immediately at the same time picking up their Gust Jar. They both waited an hour to pick up their Gust Jar that was available 1 minute in. Right. Grey Luca Fox going to Deepwood. That's where they're choosing to go. Gonna be missing out on their blue sword. Yeah, Dreamy just thinking about what they want to do with that blue sword. The blue sword kind of points them in the right direction. Yeah, okay, blue sword opens stuff up in Town Pillar. But it's very limited what it does actually open, so... Gonna be pointing them over towards Crypt. Should be doing that soon. And I think they did get a... did they not get a Crypt key? They'd have 2 Crypt keys. I think they found one in Dark Hyrule Castle. Maps and compasses are start with. Doesn't stop them from being junk as well. Could just have some extra junk just thrown in there. You know, it's better to have something that's interesting, like maps and compasses, instead of another bomb refill or whatever we've had as refills for so long. So Nimbus cleared out Templar droplets. I think they might have had 1 or 2 other things they could have done in there. Maybe they didn't full clear it, but they've left now and they've gone to Castle Gardens. Check this out. We've seen other people clear this spot out. There was junk as well. Oh, it was a bottle. Pretty sure we already found a bunch of bottles before that one, though. Dreamy checking out the Flipper's Cave, the Goldfish Cave. I think we've already seen this, though, possibly. Who has Flippers at the moment? It's just Grey Luca Fox, isn't it? So weird that we've got this, like, perfect 50-50 split where Dreamy and Grey Luca Fox have kind of very similar progression, and Mashi and Nimbus also have very similar progression. In very different ways. But yeah, it made a lot of sense for Nimbus to go directly to Cave of Flames as soon as they were done with droplets, because they got the 2 Cave of Flames keys that they needed for beating this dungeon. They have the cane already. The boss key was at the beginning. You just come here and get everything and see if you find anything. See if you find your full sword. And then what are we for go mode, by the way? Are we just a sword for go mode? Like, we've got everything, don't we? Like, it's just keys for go mode. So people need to go into dungeons and get keys. I think the only major item we're missing is Full Sword. Missing a bunch of Deepwood keys, yeah. I mean, we might only need 1. It just depends where the boss key is, because the boss is at the beginning of Deepwood, so if we find 1 Deepwood key. I mean, we've seen a Deepwood key. There was a Deepwood key in droplets. Did we see any others, though? No, I think we've just seen the 1. Have we seen 2? There was 1 in Cave of Flames as well? Oh, interesting. Was it in the later section of Cave of Flames, or was it early? Because if it was early, then people could have gone into Deepwood a little bit earlier and seen if there was anything in there. We haven't seen anyone go into Deepwood a substantial amount because everyone who's gone there didn't have any keys. It was on the flip. Oh, right. Nimbus just picked it up. Okay. Yeah. So Nimbus just picked up that second Deepwood key. So yeah, Deepwood has been locked behind getting that lantern. Yeah. Well, Great Luca Fox does have all of the things they need to come and check the graveyard here. Sees a slice of pie, doesn't go for it. Got everything from the graveyard. Not even bothering to go into Fortress. That's in the Royal Crypt because yeah, it's barren. It's gonna be junk. Nimbus grabbing a last chick here in the lava basement, then gonna be going into the Gleerock fight to get their second element. Grey Luca Fox did grab their blue sword now. Gonna be checking out some blue sword locations like Town Pillar. It's gonna be pointing them again to Crypt and where the lantern's going to be. Very weird that there's a lantern in Crypt. So yeah, we're good for everything in droplets. We're good for everything in Cave of Flames. We need some small keys for Deepwood, which we have. Nimbus has 2. So Nimbus needs to head over to Deepwood Shrine and have a little look around there, see if we need any more potentially. And then we need do we have all of the crypt keys? Dreamy has 2. Everyone else has 1. I don't think Grey Luca Fox has any. I think 2's the most. So we are looking for another crypt key. Hopefully we find that whilst we're skulking around Deepwood for that boss key. No boss key needed for crypt, very nicely. But a bit different in that there's you need all of the small keys for that. Crypt can be quite difficult to finish in these settings with when small keys can be in any dungeon, or at least in any non-element dungeon. There's a third Deepwood key. On Gleerock. Interesting. Yeah, so that's definitely a pointer of like, yeah, just go over to Deepwood, get done. Right, Nimbus is in the main section of Deepwood now. What can we find here? Well, that was quick. That was the Deepwood. There's the Deepwood big key. So they can immediately go and fight Green Chew and get their third element. Nimbus has 2 elements. They could go to the pedestal in the basement of Dark Horror Castle. The pedestal has 3 items. Just like in the vanilla game, you go there with 2 elements, 3 elements, and then 4 elements. There's another Deepwood key. That's all of the Deepwood keys. And was that also a... Wait, was that a vanilla heart piece, or was that a... I didn't see on Nimbus's side there when they were pulling... No, that is a key. They can use the Gust Jar to grab that, and that's the Dark Horror Castle key. Nice. Nice use of grabbable items there, just pulling that through the wall. No, you don't need to go fight the Matter Pillar, just grab it through the wall. Nimbus doesn't have the flippers. That may come back to bite them, depending on where the sword is. Or it's been a blessing, and they've managed to avoid bait. Oh, there we go. Okay, Nimbus found the 4 sword. It's in Deepwood. So they are a crypt key from Go mode. That's 4 DHC small keys. Now the crypt key can be in any dungeon. Did they clear everything in Cave of Flames? Yep. Did they clear everything in Deepwood? Well, they're doing it now. Did they clear everything in Droplets? I don't know. Did they? That's gonna really suck if they didn't full clear Droplets. Did they skip a Blue Chew? I mean, we saw Mashy do Blue Chew. I don't think there was a crypt key on that. If Nimbus did skip Blue Chew and then, like... Okay, there's another DHC big key, small key. That's all 5? That's a lot of DHC small keys in Deepwood. That might be pointing them in a certain direction. Because that's how the seeds worked out so far. It's been a case of just follow the keys that you get. And that tells you where to go. You go from Droplets to Droplets gives you a bunch of Cave of Flames keys, so you go to Cave of Flames. Cave of Flames gives you a bunch of Deepwood keys. Go to Deepwood. Get a bunch of Dark Horror Castle keys. That might be the way to approach this. So, right, Dreamy just picked up her first element. The Mashy has also just cleared up Gleerot and picks up their second element. Nimbus is on the fight with Green Chew for their third element. Yeah, Dreamy cleared out the left half of the lily pad, which is very barren. There's no randomized locations out on that side, so they're gonna. They did that to get to Octo and the Blue Warp, but they're doing the right hand side now for the actual locations. Because we saw them, they're going to be picking up their Cave of Flames small keys over there. Mashi is heading back to Temple of Droplets. What did they miss? What are they rushing back to Temple of Droplets for? I thought they got everything. Did they not do Octo? I thought they did Octo. Wait, did they wait for the shield? Oh, what happened to Nimbus? I didn't see. Did they soft lock themselves in the water? Oh, fell in the water. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Mashi didn't do Octo on their trip into Droplets just now when they had the ability to do so with the sword. They waited until they got their shield, which meant they had to go all the way back through Wind Ruins again, which is real slow. Dreamy clearing out Blue Chew. I keep forgetting what it was on here. It was a wallet. Wallet's not very useful in this seed, at least. We saw all of the items that could be purchased, and there wasn't anything useful. Grey Luca Fox very just not that long ago picked up their lantern from the Royal Crypt, so I think they just need to rush to those lantern locations, specifically Temple of Droplets. They've been clearing out a lot of other stuff, and it hasn't been paying off for them. Right, Nimbus is going to Dark Harrow Castle because, of course, with all of the Dark Harrow Castle keys they got, makes sense to do so. They've cleared out all of the other dungeons, so they are just Crypt Key for Go mode. So it has to be in Dark Harrow Castle at this point. They've cleared every other dungeon, unless they didn't do something in Droplets. But from the looks of what everyone else has done, Droplets is empty, I think. Oh, Nimbus only has one crypt key. So they're looking for two. Okay, we're looking for one. Where is the one that they're missing though? That's interesting. Dreamy's got the other. Yeah, okay. Dreamy's got the other one, so it had to be in Dark Harrow Castle. So we're gonna see Nimbus pick up a crypt key here. So they do pick up the crypt key in Dark Hole Castle. There's going to be another one in there as well. Was that the one we saw, or was that not the one we saw? No, it wasn't the one we saw, because Dreamy did it with Green Sword at the time. Yeah. Yeah, no, Dreamy did Dark Hole Castle with Green Sword at the time, which had to have been before Lantern, because Lantern was Blue Sword locked. And there's the other one. Yeah, Nimbus is in Go mode. Right, they're in they get their Go mode in DHC and immediately leave DHC to go and get the last element. Alright. Right, we know where we're going. Yeah, very quick go mode for Nimbus here. They only need to do one dungeon, just clearing out the Royal Crypt, grab the element here, and go immediately back to Dark Hole Castle. They've already the blue warp, the red warp's already there, so they just go for it straight away, and they can go straight into Vati, and then it's a 5-minute Vati fight or so. Actually, I think you're doing a fantastic job if you can do all of the Vati fights in under 5 minutes. So a little bit over 5 minutes. There's the Dark Hole Castle boss key. They have hit the requirements needed for getting the big key. So they're just going to rush over to Vati and get that done. Yeah, this go mode is going to be a hell of a lot faster than what it used to be. Yeah, Nimbus never got the flippers. Nimbus never went over to Lower Krenel and found those flippers. What else did we not see? We didn't see Grip Ring. No one has found Grip Ring anywhere whatsoever. Or Karlov Medal, that's right. Welcome in, Arrow. Hope you like the look of these new settings we have for Minish Cap. Nimbus is in Go mode already. These settings are interesting. But yeah, Nimbus is in Go mode. They've got the sword on the wrong setting. They had it on two clones. There we go. Put it up to 4, because you're on the 4 sword, and you're going for Vati. Everyone else is pretty much 4 sword and keys for Go mode. Keys can be found in any dungeon in these settings, so Nimbus's Go mode was a crypt key in, or 2 crypt keys in Dark Hole Castle itself. I think we're at the stage now where rando like feature development is kind of not done, but like we've hit a natural rest point here of it's a lot of work to add more settings, so I think we've got enough new settings here where we can get on with choosing a nice solid set of race settings and go forwards with a tournament with those settings. I mean, we have a lot. No, we have a lot of ideas if on the dev team for stuff we want to add. We need some time to do that, and I think it's best if we get people familiar with a consistent version of the rando, do a full release, leave that up for 6 months, work on a bunch of new options and settings and stuff, and add all of those into a new thing in 6 months' time. But yeah. Alright, Nimbus clears up Vati 1, using Great Spin to make mincemeat of Vati. You wish there was a scoop rando. What is a scoop? If you want truly awful seeds of Minish Cap, we do have a lovely setting called the Hendra Shuffler that we have not turned on today, but and we don't plan to turn it on for races. But if you want an awful seed, it's a guaranteed Plando generator. It maximizes the amount of spheres in the seed. We normally get seeds that have like 15 to 20 spheres, and in the Hendra Shuffler we've had 30 to 50 spheres. It's awful. Oh, when you scoop bottle contents up, it's randomized. Like, now, the thing is, I had the idea for this already for Minish Cap. Like, the randomization's not going to be too tricky. It's the just getting some of the technical details down, and also it's low on the priority list. There's a few other things that we would like to get done first, but it's added on the to-do list for sure. Oh yeah, definitely, Air. Like the Hendra Shuffler, you can, because it's so linear, you can metagame it. The Shuffler works by, it picks a major item, it places that, it makes sure that at least one new location is available, and then it puts junk in every other location in that sphere. Then it goes to the next sphere with the new location, at least one new location that got open, and it progresses like that, which means that if you find the major item, you can basically mark everything else in your in that you have it in logic at the moment as junk, and then as like marked, and then you just carry them. But we've got Nimbus finishing out the seed now. They are just going to be finishing out Vati 3, and GG's to Nimbus. 127. Pretty fast. Is that too fast? That is a great time from Nimbus though. By the way, I did do I did verify the seed beforehand. I hope everyone enjoyed my acting of pretending like I didn't know where everything was. spoiler. I played this seed earlier today. I got a 133. So congrats to Nimbus for beating my time. Well, we'll see if we'll let Nimbus cool off for a sec, but we will see if they're free to come and join for a little interview. See how they found that seed.
Hello.
Yo, welcome. GG's. So, how did you like those settings? Oh.
Hello?
Hello? Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now. There you go.
Okay. They were very fast. That was...
Yeah, it was fast, wasn't it? Maybe we need to slow things down more. I was, yeah. I was like, oh, let's put things like keys can be in there in any dungeon just to make these seeds take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I feel like the overworld is a lot weaker in this, I guess, because of just how fewer items you need from it, but...
Yeah.
I don't know if you could tell. I played that whole seed thinking DHC was barren.
Oh, yeah. I know you didn't go into it until right at the very end.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it doesn't have an element. It must have nothing in it.
Yeah.
And then I got to Green Shoe. It's like, where the hell are my keys?
Yeah.
Worked out at least, but...
Hey, I said I fixed the element bug, so yeah, check the tracker at the start. Yeah, check the map at the start.
Hey, I did. I didn't even leave Link's house. I was like, all right, what did Miss do?
But yeah, DHC can never be barren.
Okay.
It's built into... It's hard-coded into the shuffler. We can't change that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, sorry, that's a lie. We can change it. There's specific override in place to make sure that it is never barren.
Okay.
Or if it is barren, then that's just luck of the randomizer, not a shuffler condition making it always barren.
Right. Yeah, that was a fun seed though.
I really enjoyed the swords in
yes. I was like,
the
oh,
path.
That's totally a fake sword, and then it wasn't. Like, oh, well, okay.
So, do you want to know where the grip ring was?
Sure. Did someone else find a grip ring?
No one's found it. I have the spoiler log here. It's on the king. It's in Dark Horror Castle. So
nice.
Yeah. And you didn't get the flippers. Neither did Mashi. They were in Lower Krenel. It was Lower Krenel.
Yeah. I went to Krenel's to see what dungeon was there. I went cool, and then just never went back to it.
Yeah. No Karlov medal either. I think we can pull that up as well.
Unaccessible or something.
I'm sorry, I got that the wrong way around. Karlov medal was on the king. The grip ring was in the throne room. It was on the throne big chest. There we go.
Everything's in DHC.
It was DHC.
Oh, where was Graveyard Key?
Oh, Graveyard Key was in Western Woods Beanstalk.
Okay. Is Krenel the only red beanstalk? I thought they were all red.
There's 2 reds and 3 blues. The 3 blues are Eastern Hills, Western Woods, and Lake.
Right.
Those were still on. The red ones that were off were Wind Ruins and Krenel.
Okay.
Yeah, closed reds is a bit weird that like you're so used to some of the places being on and then it's just closed and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, where's my butterfly? Like, oh,
yeah, the
right.
butterflies are gone. Really, the reason why we had it is so that you don't go up to Wind Tribe immediately at the beginning of the seed, and that it was so that the ocarina means something when you get it, and you get to go to Wind Tribe. But also, ocarina opens up so much already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a little overwhelming with it. It's like, all right, now what on earth do I do?
What we should do is we have start with ocarina on.
Oh my god.
Hey, we want some open starts to the seeds. It's start gets a bit boring with the whole rush tingle trees and
rush randomized DHC entrance. Like, I suppose if it's Deepwood, you could just have, like, Sphere 1 swordless element. No, but...
if the start's too boring, just have 10 rounds of Cuckoo Game. Yeah, that's right. I hope everyone's happy with Cuckoo Game just being off. Wasting a minute in town doing Cuckoo Game is never anyone's favorite part of the rando.
I like round 10 Cuckoos. I don't know what any of the other rounds are. I know round 9's
they're
stupid,
worse.
But...
They are round 9 is the easiest once you know where they are. It's very free.
No.
The other rounds though, they're all hard and you can fail them easily.
I think it was 6 I failed, like, because of just not being fast enough. I forget which one.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
It's very quick, isn't it? When you're done, when you're in go mode, it's just get going.
Just like
I think I can't remember when you hit go mode. I think it was at like 119 or something, and then it's like a 8-minute go mode.
Yeah, because all I had to do was just fly back to Deepwood, walk in, walk out, and then fly back.
Yeah. All right, and GG's to Mashi.
GG's. I did think about it after the fact. I think home warping after Green Chew would have actually been faster, but...
yeah. Yeah, I think so.
How long it takes to walk all the way back out.
Yeah, it's not one of those dungeons that you just step outside and play the ocarina straight away, so that makes sense. You and Mashi had very similar routing throughout this whole seed. You were just a couple steps ahead of them the whole time.
Right.
Can't remember what they checked over you. It was really, I think it was everyone followed the same like chain of progression from the moment they decided to go into Wind Ruins and get the boots.
Right.
Yeah. Because boots led to the blue sword led to Crip's lantern. Which is very fun.
Yeah.
Lantern led to droplets. Droplets led to a bunch of Cave of Flames keys. Cave of Flames led to Deepwood keys, and that's where your Four Sword was. And Dark Horror Castle keys as well, which then led to the Crypt keys to finish the seed. So it was quite linear once you followed that and got out of the overworld. Because everything was really really open really early. Like, we had so much so early.
Yeah. Just like half the map open immediately. Like, okay, now what?
Yeah, what really sucked was that you weren't the first person into Wind Ruins or into Templar Droplets. Grey Luca Fox rushed there very early. They were the first person to
Okay.
find the ocarina because they with Kate and Mitz, like that was the first thing they did. They went to Lake and they got the ocarina there. And then like first thing they did after getting the ocarina was they walked to Swamp and they went into Wind Ruins. And they cleared Wind Ruins except for Quick Walk Caves. And they went into Droplets and grabbed one thing in Droplets and then they left. And they didn't get the boots.
Yeah. I was avoiding Wind Ruins because I wanted keys because I didn't want to have to go back and forth like 8 times.
GG's, Smashy.
GG's.
Yo, GG's. That was a fun seed.
Mm-hmm.
It had the myth seed flavoring.
I don't know. It seemed nice for a myth seed.
It did.
Well,
I don't know if
it's
that's the
not
settings
also. Yeah. I just needed to remember to do Octo before leaving.
Right. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if you were waiting for the shield and then you got the shield in Cave of Flames and then went back.
I completely was like, I'm going to full clear, and then I'm going to do Octo, and then I'm going to go to Cave of Flames. Then I'm like, okay, I finished full clearing. Now time for Cave of Flames. Wait, I forgot to do Octo.
Yep. You did Blue Chew.
Yeah.
Did you... I was umming and ahhing whether or not you did Blue Chew. Did you do it?
No, I don't have enough keys for it. I only have 2.
Right.
I never found a 3rd one.
Where's the... Where was the Droplets key you were missing then?
The whole time I was just going like, oh god, please don't be on Blue Chew. If it's on Blue Chew, I'm like 20 more minutes in this stupid seed.
You did a good job of avoiding Blue Chew.
I'm guessing it's
because there was one at the beginning of Droplets. Western Woods. Oh wait, no. Hang on, that's a map. Let me actually get the small keys. Cave of Flames Rollerbike chest had a small key.
Yeah, that was my first.
Oh, everyone didn't get it because it was in Fortress. That's not right.
The 4th key was in Fortress.
Yeah, the 4th key was in Fortress. That's not right.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay. I know why that happened. How Baron dungeons work is
it was beatable only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How beatable dungeons work is that all of the locations they just have an added logical requirement of you need to beat Vati first before they get put into logic. So that's our like little hack of making sure that no major items are going to be on there. But because we also had the setting for only like any item can lock themselves, then it let things get put there if it's never going to be required. So
no, it didn't mean that if you did Blue Chew early, you were screwed. It meant that you would just use the lily pad to get the blue warp.
Mm-hmm.
You would either use the lily pad or dark maze.
Yeah.
You would have
exactly.
a way to get the blue warp either way.
Yeah.
It was just the 4th key that locked itself.
Yeah. yeah, the logic's fine, and it wouldn't have soft locked you. Yeah, it also meant that
Meant that Blue
um,
Chew and Vanilla Boss Key couldn't have anything.
yeah, exactly, that ice block at the beginning. You didn't need to reset the puzzle over and over again trying to solve it. Yes, so we did see.
Okay. I was distracted while doing it. I was like, wait, what the hell did I do? Wait. Just push the complete wrong block.
So yeah, if you didn't see, the grip ring was in the throne room in the throne big chest in DHC, and then the Karlov medal was on the king,
Okay.
and then you also didn't get the flippers. The flippers were in lower Krenel.
Okay.
Dreamy and Grey Luca Fox did get the flippers, and they did get a little bit baited and checked some other things in the in the overworld. They should be finishing up pretty soon. Yeah, Dreamy's in go mode. They found their DHC. They found the last crypt key in DHC.
Yeah, I also forgot that I didn't have spin the first time I went to DHC.
Yeah,
And tried to do lower right tower.
right.
It's like,
yeah.
wait, why? Why
I
can't?
saw
Why
you
isn't this
go in
working?
early. Yeah, we have spins on the dojos, so non-progressive as well. We didn't actually get to see it in this seed, the non-progressive aspect of the scrolls, because the spin scroll was the first spin scroll that you found, but
And there weren't that many dojos available to begin with because of red fusions off.
yeah, it
Yeah.
did mean that 3 of the scrolls were just inaccessible. So do you think these settings were too fast? Or is this a good speed increase?
I felt like they were pretty good. I think
We can always
maybe-
add more settings in to
Yeah.
boost the time up a bit.
Mhm.
I think maybe adding another Goron Merchant would be good.
Oh yeah,
Like another set, so you actually using your rupees.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 to 3 Gorn merchants, I think. That's fine. Maybe not 3, with Rupee Mania off.
Yeah, we've had 3 before. With Rupee Mania on, it's fine. But also, the logic does take into account the total number of rupees required to purchase everything from every shop. So extra big reds and big blues do get added to the pool if you increase the Goron
Oh.
merchant setting. So
I did not know that. Okay.
yeah. It's if you put all 5 in, it's something like 5,000 rupees required. It's a lot.
Well, see, that's why we add 10 rounds of Cuckoos, so you can get all of the money.
Oh yeah, that's right. You get money from Koku Game as well. Was there anything else we were interested in finding? Well, with remote bombs, we didn't see any remote bombs, did we? They were in Palace.
Ah,
I would explain
This,
it.
this Baron option is not doing what it says on the tin.
Did anyone find a graveyard key?
It was in Western Woods, Beanstalk.
Okay.
I believe there was a pie on the heart piece in the graveyard. Yeah, in these settings, the power of certain items that you consider to normally be incredibly strong is just like completely inverted. Like, what does Red Sword actually open? Like the
Octo.
oh, it was Octo, and then
Like that's it.
The Lon Lon cave.
Right.
I guess because
Yeah.
Fortress was barren in this, so it didn't open.
Yeah, it depends on what dungeon you have.
Yeah.
Even Fortress, it only opens one check, so I guess two if you
But
don't.
there are a handful because there's like Igor fight. There's the right drop. There's the statue
right.
chest at the back.
Oh yeah, there are more. Never mind.
Yeah. That's right. Catabat points out we can put red fusions back on because we're making a setting to make Wind Tribe independent of the fusions. So Wind Tribe is controlled by, do you enter through the front door? If you enter through the front door, then Wind Tribe gets put into the second state where you can go up to the higher floors. But until that, it's in the first state. Even if gold fusions are on. So we can have all fusions just on, and it doesn't make that first dungeon it means that you can't just go up through that portal immediately and go and check a dungeon in Sphere 0.
So you could theoretically have closed gold fusion and then open Windcrest up there to access Palace.
Yeah.
That's also how you would access Veil Falls backwards.
Yeah.
So
Oh, naughty, naughty. Dreamy's doing some portal items.
oh no.
Alright, we're gonna have to ban her. Dirty cheating glitches in our pure glitchless randomizer race.
Glitchless plus roll lifting randomizer.
Oh yeah. She did pull off a lot of roll lifts this season. Yeah, I really like the fact that the DHC Red Warp is just open and DHC is also open as well. So as soon as you're in go mode, it's like no messing around. You just go beat Vati and you're done. Don't have to waste time going through Dark Heart Castle trying to find the keys and stuff. And GG's to Dreamy.
GG's.
GG. And I liked having the droplets red warp on to force going around the boss door.
Yeah. That was kind of a weird unintended side effect. We just wanted to mean so that you didn't have to go through all of those awful slow rooms that have no items to fight Octo, just to speed it up a bit. But yeah, going into the back end of droplets and finding the boss keys also interesting, I guess.
Because it also affects your routing. Like, you don't find the boss key. Like, do you really want to go back
Yeah.
to red warp, or do you want to just go to the lever, drop down, go to boss, and then maybe try and do things afterward?
So I think it's quite rare to find the big key in the first two spots, because how the logic's working at the moment is it can go anywhere. We can do some stuff. We can change the weighting and the balance on it so that like it's a 50-50. It's either half the time there's the boss key going to be in one of those two spots in the front, and then there's a 50% chance that it's somewhere later in the dungeon and you're gonna have to go through the red wall. So that it doesn't feel after so many seeds that it's always going to be in the back half.
Right. Yeah, something like that would be not bad.
How are people liking golden enemies?
I think they're fun, personally.
Okay.
I think they're okay.
I was worried. I was like, they feel really slow.
Yeah,
And
some of
annoying
them,
to fight sometimes.
like the Tektites, are just super annoying.
Luckily, there was an
Especially
early
if you
boomerang.
don't have a boomerang. Yeah, if you have an early
Yeah.
boomerang, they're not bad. But if you don't have a boomerang, have fun.
You can at least get them like stuck on collision sometimes, which makes it a little bit easier.
And you can always use the mirror shield to kill them.
Yeah.
Did anyone find the mirror shield?
I didn't.
It should have been available. One of the shields was in Cave of Flames, and the other one was School Garden.
Right.
Yeah, no one went into School Garden to check the visible item there because the fusion isn't there, because that's a red fusion, I'm pretty sure, right?
I forget. I did check
don't
the item.
remember.
It was I think it was a green kinstone, but I never went
Oh,
back.
you did? Okay. Right, you did
Yeah.
check it. Yeah, it was a green kinstone, and yeah. Oh, there was a Cloudtops kinstone in there.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. Everyone liked all of the junk kinstones in the booth just to be like, oh, it was something shiny. Wait, no.
Yeah, that threw me off at first. I was like, wait, can I actually do red fusion?
Yeah, same.
But then I was like, no, wait, they're removed, so I can't do
Yeah. Yeah, you try and go to any person and they're just gone.
Hello.
They're winning off them. Hey, GG's.
GG's.
GG.
PG.
How do you like those settings?
I dislike them, thank you.
I felt so bad for you in Windows. You were the first person into Windows. You rushed there so fast.
Really?
You cleared everything except for one spot, and it was your boots.
Yes, it was the boots, I know. I was feeling so bad after I missed the boots, and I was like, okay, maybe I can get some progress in dungeon. Or first I wanted to check what is the dungeon, because I didn't know at the time. And then I was like, okay, I can't do anything right now, so let's just check the things later. But yeah, so I have to admit, keys in other dungeons, it's so disgusting. I would have never imagined that it could be so frustrating to go from one dungeon to the next all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I was just not really having the right direction. And yeah, I wasn't going to the right places.
Yeah, everyone else got on a like as soon as they got those boots and did the boots took them to Lon Lon to get the two swords, which was great. The two
Oh,
swords,
okay.
The two swords
in
were
the path
great.
together.
That was fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, you get blue sword, and then it's like, where do you go with blue
Yeah.
sword? Blue swords, it's very limited what you get, and then it was crypt, and then you get the lantern, and then the lantern's like, where do you go? It's droplets, and then the droplets had a like all of your Cave of Flames keys, and then so it's like, okay, I guess I go to Cave of Flames. You do all of Cave of Flames, and you get a bunch of Deepwood keys, and then you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to Deepwood next. And so
Yeah.
everyone got onto that kind of path thing with that.
I also wanted to do that, but then I was like, no, I don't want to keep you waiting for so long.
Also, hilariously, Nimbus and Mashi, you got the Gust Jar like straight away because early cape. So
No.
just jump straight to it and grab it right away.
No.
You and Dreamy got the Gust Jar seconds
Extreme.
apart at the like
Really?
hour mark.
Yeah, it was extremely late.
You were in the same room. You were in the room at the same time picking it up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
After I picked it up, I was like, why just now? I needed it so much earlier. The
Yeah.
Gastra, it gives you so much stuff to do and so much stuff to clear, but I just couldn't get it. And yeah, I was just traveling around and didn't know where to go.
So that was like jumping with the cape to there is an out of logic play. You had to have the bombs to blow up the spot and go through that, and like the intended way.
Yes.
Because yeah, we count that cape jump as a logic trick because it's a bit tricky. People don't intuit that they can do that jump at first. So
Yeah, I think it's a lot of practice with the cape, but even then, it's not really that hard to do. So yeah, I with please next time no key shuffling.
no, okay. We're trying to refine these settings a bit because we were thinking maybe they were too fast or because we want a nice balance of approachable for new people to come in and join and do them. So that's why we got rid of stuff like the all of the obscure locations, all the underwater spots, all the big spots, because they're just it's hard for new people to learn all of those spots. So it's easier when things are just in chests.
I would have loved them so much.
Yeah, and it's like Key Sanity Light. It's not full Key Sanity where they can be anywhere. You have some
Yes, that's
direction,
true,
so like everyone was in Crypt Key for Go mode and was like, well, you have cleared every dungeon except for Dark Horror Castle, so it's got to be in Dark Horror Castle.
Yeah, and another problem for me was I was going to TOD so many times. Like,
Yeah.
just the path to go there, it takes so long, and I was going there like 3 to 4 times.
Yeah. You and Dreamy also did lower Krenel and got the flippers.
Yes.
Mashi and Nimbus never went and got the flippers. The flippers were bait.
Really?
They locked
Oh.
nothing.
Okay.
Well, they logically elect DHC, I guess, but
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, logically you can't enter DH without the flippers
Yeah.
because of it being late.
Well, I think that sounds like a good, like some good feedback to go on. Maybe rolling the keys back to be in their own dungeons, and we'll change the have the red fusions back on, but changing how Wind Tribe works. So, like the whole reason why red fusions were going to be closed was because we didn't want Wind Tribe to just be open and in Sphere 0, and then you just go into there and go to a dungeon right away at the start of going up Wind Tribe. We'll change how Wind Tribe works, so you have to go through the front entrance of Wind Tribe for it to change to the second state where the upper floors are open.
Okay.
So you still have the portal there, and you can go up to it, but yeah, gold fusions want to be completed, and you don't have to go and find a bunch of gold kinstones.
Yeah, I think that alone saved a lot of time, just not having to find
Yeah.
Kinstone.
Yeah.
How was the open wind crests with the ocarina?
I think it's kind of pretty nice, but it also gives you a bit too much of free room. So too many possibilities, too many paths you can go. So it can be nice, but also, yeah,
Yeah.
you really
Yeah.
have to think about where to go first.
Yeah, there was a little too much available as soon as you got Ocarina.
Hmm.
Maybe limiting to like Prenel, Vale Falls, and Caster, maybe. Like those are the more out of the way ones.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Not just have cloud tops open straight away, and then you would still need
Yeah.
like grip
You would
ring.
still need something to be able to access.
I think you would just need grip ring. That's all you would need, and then you would be able
Yeah.
to
Just grip ring.
Yeah, just climb up.
Yes.
Yeah. But that
That
would
would be
still
nice
be
because
an extra requirement to access that dungeon.
Yeah.
I feel like the grip ring is, especially with red fusions off, grip ring is like really underpowered in this. I feel.
Yes. Yeah. I do notice that a lot with a lot of these test seeds that I roll is that grip ring ends up locking itself or just never being accessible. So yeah, I hope everyone liked Dark Horror Castle entrance being shuffled at the beginning of the seed. I didn't want to spoil it straight away, so I was like, "Yeah, I fixed that element bug."
Yeah, that was fun.
Check the map.
I was kind of looking at the map, and I saw an element there, and I was thinking, there can't be an element. I was thinking for a bit, and then I was like, wait, dungeon entrances are randomized, so maybe it leads to another dungeon. And it did.
So
Yeah, I forgot to check the map at the start, so I was like,
oh.
I went into DHC thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get the one available check and leave. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a thing.
Yeah, that was somewhat my thought as well. I wanted to get this one check, but then I noticed after entering, oh, there's Cave of Flames, and I can complete Cave of Flames. Or, like, mostly. So, well, like, not even mostly, I was only able to collect some chests, but at least it brought me further.
So DHC entrance being shuffled took a little bit longer than the other dungeon entrances. In this mode, it's simple and it's exactly how you'd think because it's open DHC. what was taking a little bit longer was making it work with when you have it on the other requirement where you have to go through the secret path, and DHC opens after requirements, you go to the pedestal. So how it works in that is that ladder is where it's shuffled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can go into an entrance like in Minish Woods. You go into where Deepwoods is supposed to be, and you would exit out of the ladder in in that secret path, and then you can go to the sanctuary and do the pedestal. So that's how you would go to open Dark Hyrule Castle. After you do the pedestal at the end of the seed, when you've got all of the requirements, done all the elements and everything, you've activated Dark Hyrule Castle, and you exit out of the sanctuary, and you're in Dark Hyrule Castle. When you exit out of the main entrance of Dark Hyrule Castle, you are in the castle gardens. That main entrance will never be shuffled in that mode.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird. You entered from Deepwood or from Minish Woods, but you ended up there. If you ever go back to Deepwood or Minish Woods and enter in through there, you'll still get into that secret path, but when you get to the end of that path, it's blocked by boulders, because that's how it happens, where it works in the vanilla game. And yeah, at any point in the seed, you go to the through the guard path, and there will be a dungeon in there at the end of the guard path. So that's how it works in that mode, instead of open DHC like we had today. So that was just a little bit trickier to make happen.
It sounds really interesting, but also really annoying every time you have to go to whatever dungeon is at that ladder.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this feature is getting added into all of the other features that I've been working on, which has been decoupling open world from the other settings. So now you can have open world on, and it won't automatically open all of the wind crests, all of the dungeon warps, all of the key doors, all of the fusions. They're all set. They're all disconnected from open world now. And we have so many ideas with new features and stuff that we want to add to the randomizer, but I think we're at a point here where it's good to hold off on any more new features getting added, and let's iron out some solid race settings and get some races going where we get used to them and have a tournament soon.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm down.
Well, that sounds like something to do, right? All right.
All right.
There we go. Okay. All right. Myth, Artemis, thank you guys for putting on the rescreen part of this, talking and tracking for us. Nimbus, Mashy, Ricarbu, Dreamy, who didn't come in but also raced on the screen. Thank you for giving us a great race to watch. Everyone for coming out to watch. What do we got left today? We got some Link to the Past stuff still going on today, and some Skyward Sword stuff. There's an MMR Blitz tournament going on right now over on ZSR2. That's where I'm going to send everybody. So check back throughout the day. You should find something going on some channel for now until probably about 10, 11 Eastern time. So another 7, 8 hours from now. So thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you everyone who raised, and thank you everyone for help the raise stream. Have a good day.
See ya.
Bye.